Hello, everybody, and welcome to my college football pregame show. We have a beautiful conference championship weekend in store for us. Last night, I went 4-0 on my Friday night predictions. If I can pick all 5 of these correct, perfect conference championship week. For me, I picked Tulane over North Texas, Boise State over UNLV, Kennesaw State over Jacksonville State, and James Madison over Troy. We only got 5 games today, of course. Let's just dive right into the game. I'm covering first-ranked 12-0 Ohio State, but 12-0 second-ranked Indiana. These are the only 2 remaining unbeaten teams. It's the first game in the century that I've ever seen in my 5 years into football. That's not a playoff game, considering we had Washington, Michigan. That was 1-2 national championship. But regular season or conference championship week, this is the first time. A lot of people are going to be like, no one can stop Ohio State, but Indiana's not a pretender this year. Last year, they got smoked by 23 points. Last year, it was in the shoe. Yeah, Ohio State might be better than last year, this group was. But Indiana's a whole lot better. Curtis Rourke was not a very good quarterback. No offense to Curtis Rourke, but he was not elite. Fernando Mendoza is the Heisman favorite with 32 touchdowns, 5 picks. This could be the battle for the Heisman. Fernando Mendoza is the favorite. Shane is the third on the list. Number 2 is Diaco Pavia of Vanderbilt. But this is exciting. I mean, this is a big game in Indianapolis. Cignetti said when he went to the basketball game, he screamed, "Purdue's trash." They've dominated them back-to-back years. Michigan and Ohio State are also trash. They barely beat Michigan last year. So he lived up to that, but they got smoked to Ohio State. Now he has a chance to live up to what he said about saying Ohio State's trash. But this is going to be a fun one. Cignetti's a great coach. Ryan Day and Kurt Cignetti are probably the 3 best head coaches right now. So right now, not like their coaching career, the 3 best head coaches right now are probably Kirby Smart, Ryan Day, and Kurt Cignetti. As of right now, the way they're coaching, and 2 of them are participating in this game. This is really exciting. Kurt Cignetti and Ryan Day, and then Clark Lee are the 3 Coach of the Year finalists. Wait, so you got 2 of the top 3 Heisman favorites at quarterback are in this game, and 2 of the 3 Coach of the Year finalists are coaching. That just proves how elite these teams have been. You may think, 2 Heisman favorites, this is going to be an offensive explosion. Ohio State as maybe a top 5 greatest defensive unit of all time, or at least top 10. Indiana, I think, is like the 2nd best defense, or like top 5 in the country. So this is going to be a defensive battle. Don't be thinking, Saints 3rd in Heisman voting, Mendoza's number 1, offensive explosion, Jeremiah Smith, Carnolte, Omar Cooper Jr., and I forgot what his name is, but 4 of the 10 best wide receivers in the country are participating in this game. 2 of the top 3 quarterbacks in the country are in this game. These are great defenses. It's not guaranteed to be an offensive explosion. I think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a defensive game I think they'll both get in the 20s points. 9th-ranked Bama plays 3rd-ranked Georgia. That's where College game day is. Georgia was looking kind of red hot, blew out Texas. They were looking great. A sluggish game. You win 16-9, though, over Georgia Tech. Bama's playing struggling football in November. Lost to Oklahoma. Blew out Eastern Illinois, but Ty Simpson threw no touchdowns, 2 picks, and then squeak out in the Iron Bowl against Auburn. Bama probably gets in even if they lose, if I were to guess, especially based on what they did with SMU last year, having SMU get in and not punishing them for reaching their conference championship. So it wouldn't be very fair to knock out Bama. But of course, Bama owns this series. Kirby Smart's 1-8 against Georgia, but that against Alabama. But that was in the national championship, 2021-2022 season. But first one of the back-to-back. But it's getting exciting. Earlier this year, Bama beat Georgia 24-21, stopping Georgia's 33-game home winning streak. Georgia looks to get revenge, get around 1 bye. Bama, might get around 1 bye, but I would think not. If they win this game, this is going to be a fun one. The SEC Championship is always fun. It matters. Winning the SEC Championship matters. Georgia's 5th consecutive SEC title game berth, tied the longest streak in SEC football history. Or maybe in SEC history, but I'm just going to assume just in football. And then and 3 of those times, I've been against Bama. But the other 2 times, LSU, they beat them, and then Texas, who they beat. But then their 2 losses, because Georgia's only 2-2 in this span, and the 2 losses are to Bama. So now this is their 5th time looking to finally win one against Bama. Excuse me, but like I said, the SEC Championship is a really fun game. Every year, it's a great game. Georgia LSU wasn't super close, but it's fun. It matters. A lot of the time, it's a national championship preview. I personally think the Big Ten championship, though, might be the national championship preview this time. But it's getting fun. It's getting really fun. Bama, I mean, they are struggling. Ty Simpson was like the Heisman favorite. He's not like even in like the top 10 or barely in the top 10 now because he's fallen off. I mean, he threw no touchdowns, two picks versus Eastern Illinois. Yeah, they smoked him 56 of them, but he struggled. Excuse me. 7-5 Duke plays 17th ranked 10-2 Virginia. At least I think they're ranked 17th, but it's as simple as winning in for Virginia. James Madison fans, watch this game. The James Madison Dukes, so the Dukes are rooting for Duke. If Duke wins, the ACC probably won't get a team in unless the chaos happens. That would get Miami into the playoffs. But that would be crazy to have 2 Group of 5 teams in. Tulane's already locked in a berth, beating North Texas last night. But Duke was at home last time in the regular season they played, and it was a blowout. But yeah, so 3 of the 4 conference championship games are rematches today. Duke and Virginia, Alabama, Georgia, and BYU, Texas Tech are rematches. And last night, I don't know if James Madison and Troy was a rematch, but Boise State, UNLV, and Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State were. But also, my 5 years into football, of course, this is the 3rd time that we've seen. Of course, I've seen Georgia in it every year. I've seen Bama, Georgia 3 times. I've seen Bama, Georgia 3 times. I've seen Alabama, Georgia 3 times for an SEC championship. But other than the SEC championship, I am seeing new teams. I'm seeing new teams in the SEC because I've never seen Ohio State or Indiana in the Big Ten championship game, ever participate. I've never seen Virginia or Duke in the ACC championship game, and I've never seen BYU or Texas Tech. But Duke, they honestly do not deserve to be here. They do not deserve to be in this game. They lost 2 conference games. Don't understand how they made it over Georgia Tech, made it over Miami. Sorry, that's just my dog barking. But yeah, Virginia, as simple as win, and you're the Cinderella story making it into the college football playoffs. That would be great for Tony Elliott. He was kind of on the hot seat. He's completely turned that around. completely. It's getting exciting. This would be crazy if Duke won the ACC. This would be crazy if Duke won the ACC. Because, I mean, Duke went 7-5 in the regular season. So to see Duke maybe win the ACC championship, that would be crazy. If Duke won the SEC championship game. That would be crazy. If Duke managed to win the SEC championship game. But, this has been a worse regular season than last season for Manny Diaz, but yet they're miracling in the ACC championship game. Like I already said, that's crazy. A 7-5 Duke team is in the ACC championship game. That's just crazy. But the Big 12 championship, 11th ranked BYU plays 4th ranked Texas Tech. Texas Tech, they're 0-1 in one-score games. They blow out everyone who they play. They just blow out everyone who they play. And BYU, this is a winning game for them. You win and you're in. If you lose, you're not in. Kalani said Kentucky almost got poached. He stays. He kind of thinks it's disrespectful that BYU's this low. Because they do have a good win over Utah. Their one loss is an okay loss, but they got smoked 29-7. Texas Tech's a 12-point favorite. I think that's realistic. I think that's how it should be. I think Texas Tech should be that big favorite. Jacob Rodriguez, it's doubtful for him to be a Heisman finalist, but if he puts on a show today, yes, some people don't count conference championship week for their Heisman voting, I think, but still, a lot of people do. So, I mean, if he puts on a show today, he could very well be a Heisman finalist. And now let's get to picks, and I will be picking MAC championship just to pick everyone, but I'm not going to talk about it because I barely know anything about it. But Miami of Ohio plays Western Michigan. I've heard Western Michigan's kind of dominating the MAC is what I heard. They're the favorites, but I've heard it's been crazy. But I'm picking Western Michigan over Miami, Ohio. This is the game I'm most scared about to go 9-0 in conference championship because I know nothing about the MAC. Sorry, MAC fans. But yeah, I have Western Michigan beating Miami of Ohio. That's at 11 a.m. Central Time. So I got Western Michigan beating Miami of Ohio. BYU plays Texas Tech. Texas Tech smoked them last time. I think it might be an even bigger blowout this time. Texas Tech is an elite team. They dominate BYU. Sorry, Cougs. You're not making the college football playoff this year. And Texas Tech, round 1 bye, they are national champion contenders. 9th-ranked Bama plays 3rd-ranked Georgia. Bama's playing bad football. Georgia was looking red hot until kind of playing sluggish against Georgia Tech. Georgia can never beat Alabama. Give me Bama to yet again win. DeBoer moves up to 3-0 against Georgia, going officially locking in his first berth in the college football playoff and winning his first SEC championship. Give me Bama to beat Georgia. Duke plays 17th-ranked Virginia. Duke was at home in the regular season meeting and they got smoked 34-17. This time Duke's not at home. Duke does not even deserve to be here. Virginia does, or kinda, considering the NC State game didn't count as a conference game, which is honestly dumb. But because it was so early in the season. But give me Virginia to just dominate Duke. Sorry, James Madison fans, you were not gonna make the college football playoff. Then the game of the century, 12-0 first-ranked Ohio State, goes to Indianapolis to play second-ranked 12-0 Indiana. It's going to be close. It's going to be like 27-24 around there, 24-21 around that kind of score. I don't know, though. I mean, this Indiana team's a lot better than last year's team. They're going to compete a lot better than they did last year. Last year, Indiana kind of survived off of a cakewalk schedule. Wasn't a very good team. They just had a cakewalk schedule, barely beat Michigan. Granted, Ohio State and Alabama lost, but still. They got blown out to Notre Dame, even though it didn't look like a that big blowout. And they got blown out to Ohio State. I know those two teams made the national championship, but they weren't even close, really. So give me Ohio State. It's going to be tight. These are two of the best 3 coaches in college football. But I think Ohio State finally wins a Big Ten championship. They have beat Indiana 30 straight times, make that 31. Indiana has not won the conference title, at least shared it, since 1967, 6-7. But and then of course they have not won it outright since 1945. But they do not do that today. Ohio State beats Indiana for the 31st straight time, keeping it at Indiana has not beaten Ohio State since 1988. Ohio State wins the game, 13-0, 1 seed. Indiana still gets like the 3rd or 4th seed, still gets around $1. Well, that's it for this episode of the College Football Show. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for my college football show discussing conference championship weekend. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye now.